Buenos dias. It is day 15, which means we started our hike 2 weeks ago today. Today we're gonna get to Leadville. So yeah, we're gonna finish segment 9 in about 2.5 miles. Then we're gonna hike all of segment 10. And actually maybe it's closer to 3 miles because we didn't make it all the way to the lake that we were talking about last night. I think we'll finish uphill again to start the day again today. So I'm tired already. So yeah, I think 3 miles to finish segment 9. We'll hike all of segment 10, which is about 13.1, about a half marathon. And then we'll be at our trailhead where we will get into Leadville. So, alright, so I guess we got about a little over 16 miles to get there. Last night we camped near a water source for the first time in quite a while, which is kind of nice. For us in particular, one thing is a Petty uses a bladder. So it's a basically container that holds 2 liters of water that goes inside of her pack. And one of the catches with the bladders is you can't really fill it. In order to refill it, you pretty much have to empty the pack to put the bladder back in there. So since we were camped near a water source, we were able to fill her bladder before she packed her pack for the first time, because kind of what we had been doing is, we'd be camp at a dry site, hike a couple miles to the first water source, and then she has to take all of her stuff out and put it back in. It ends up, she has to pack her pack twice, essentially, which kind of extends a break that honestly we don't really need, because we've only hiked a couple miles that morning, so that'll save us a little bit of time. Anyway, so one of the things, so my tattoo for her again is he's on the Appalachian Trail on a second through hike of the AT. He told me about somebody having a tube that runs into a water bottle, and so because one of the nice things about bladders is that you have a tube that comes out of there that you can easily drink from while you're hiking. You don't have to stop. I remember way back in the day, we'd have Nalgene bottles in the side of our packs, and if you wanted to drink, essentially, you had to ask your hiking partner to pull it out for you. So you'd have to stop, pull out the bottle, and then feel like you had to drink a ton to justify stopping and then putting it away. The bladder, one of the nice things about the bladder is you have a tube right there come on Frida, you have a tube right there that you can easily drink from anytime you want while you're hiking. Dad told me that he saw some people with tubes in bottles rather than in bladders, so the bottle still sits on the outside of your pack. You can easily access it whenever you want, but then with the tube leading out of the bottle, you can drink from it while you're walking. So that's actually, I did some Googling and I found this smart tube on Amazon. This way, Frida. And it actually was designed for, seems like their idea was for cycling, that you would have a bottle either, in your cages under your bike or in a backpack or something, and then you could have a tube running from there to near your mouth, so you could drink while riding without having to reach down and grab a water bottle. But it also, obviously, I think it's a pretty good solution for backpacking as well. I've really liked this, so I can sip from the tube, and it's easy to refill if I need to. So I definitely like that solution quite a bit. We reached our high point of the day today. It was a pretty steep climb. It wasn't too long though.
To wake up in the morning.
Yeah. So now we're gonna descend. Basically, we got 2 miles to the end of the segment, and we're gonna drop down to 10,000 feet. So we got a 1,400 foot drop over 2 miles. And Frida just saw a big rabbit, and so that's got her fired up right now. Salud. All right, let's try not to die on this down. Leaving the Holy Cross Wilderness, gracias. But we're moving on. We're almost to the end of the segment. Onward and downward. Mount Massive Wilderness. So we left Holy Cross Wilderness and entered Mount Massive Wilderness in the same day. Not too many miles between them. We got hailed on for the first time. We got all our rain gear on. Thunder was loud, and down came little pellets of hail. It didn't last long. It doesn't look like it'll be too bad after this, hail-wise, but so. And on the AT they say no rain, no pain, no main. On the CT we gotta have something that has no hail, no something. The problem is hail doesn't rhyme with Durango. They should have made the town stop, or the trail stop at a town that rhymes with hail, so we could have that saying. Like Vail, right? It should have, the trail should stop at Vail. No hail, no hiking like a snail, no Vail. What could have been? We're almost to the trailhead to conclude our day, where we'll get a hitch, or well, not hitching, where our Airbnb person is picking us up. I don't know if we're gonna get a good shot though, but you can see through the trees that beast peering through. Yeah, actually this is a better shot right here. That guy right there, Mount Elbert, the highest peak in Colorado. There's only a handful of peaks in the US that are higher. One's in California, the rest are in Alaska. I think Elbert's in the top 5, top 6, something like that. Anyway, Mount Elbert is about a 10-mile round trip, side trip off of the Colorado Trail. Petty and I were talking about summiting. It's a super easy hike, actually. It's one of the easiest 14ers to summit, despite the fact that it's the highest. That thing is so high up there, it's kind of crazy. We're about 10,000 feet, which is pretty high. That thing is way up there. We saw a bunch of people really were camped back further up on the CT, and another group of people hiking out there to summit Mount Massive, another 14er. Looks like that would have been about a 7-mile round trip off this. A lot of thru hikers, Colorado Trail thru hikers, do try to summit some of the 14ers that are nearby the trail, but we will probably not summit most of them, except I forget, it's a San Juan or something that is very close to the trail. That's a very short side hike. Maybe we'll do that one. But yeah, peak bagging is a popular thing in Colorado. Climb on. There's maybe another decent shot of Elbert, but we're starting to get low, and the side of that mountain's starting to creep up on that peak. But Yeah, peak bagging, climbing the 14ers is a very popular hobby. Colorado Trail actually passes by some of the more remote ones that are some of the least frequently climbed. But anyway, it was kind of cool to see Elbert from pretty close. Anyway, our day's almost done. A well-deserved 0 day awaits us. We are excited.